Hi there YouTube. So this is my Umarex Vfc MP5, the gas blowback. I absolutely love it. It is a brilliant bit of kit. It's got quite a few upgrades in it, including steel cocking bolt and other bits and pieces. It's got a genuine H&K handguard on it as well. And it's in its basic setup, otherwise how you get it out of the box when it comes to cosmetics. So it's got the retractable stock on it. I don't need to show you all this. You've all seen all this probably hundreds of times. Really nice replica. As I say, I really like it. I really like this standard look, the one that we're probably all more familiar with. But I did always want the original sort of slimline handguard. And I'm sure in other parts of the world, such as America, these sort of things are very easy, or much easier, should I say, to come by. Unfortunately, even if I was to find one in America, as I found out previously, they won't send parts over to the UK. I understand it when it comes to, mechanical parts, obviously firearms, licensing laws, etc. I completely get that. But even if it's just a static or molded part, they will not send them. And I have spent ages trying to find a handguard, a slimline handguard like this, which I'll come on to in a minute. I've been searching online, contacted companies in the UK. There's loads of listings online if you did a Google search, but as soon as you click on the link, they're all out of stock, or they're old listings, very old listings, none available. There are companies which I think are based in China or Korea or Japan, Taiwan, those sort of places, if you can find them in stock, that do actually make reproductions out of plastic, and they're not particularly cheap. And I really wanted an original one. Obviously, this is sort of dating back from the sort of 1970s. So one of the regular sort of searches, amongst other things that I search for on places like eBay, is MP5 handguard. And just out of blue, one turned up. It was about a week and a half ago. I was watching it. It had just over a day left, and it was based in Ireland. Now I live on the mainland UK in England, and the bidding was starting from something. It was in euros, so obviously in England we use pounds, and it's starting about 76 euros. And it showed me that 6 other people were watching it, and I thought this thing's going to go. So the next day and a half was pretty anxious. I didn't put any bids into the last minute. I did try and contact the seller to see if he would accept to buy it now. Funny enough, it did actually have a buy it now, but the buy it now was, I think it was about 180 euros. And then you had postage, and then you had VAT to pay, value added tax, and that was another 20%. And I was really tempted with the buy it now, but I thought, no, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna wait and see what happens. Anyway, long and short of it is, I won it. The bids came in quite ferociously at the last sort of second, literally, and with the VAT and the postage, I think I ended up paying about £140, which is a lot of money. But then I don't think it is a lot of money, because it's a very, very rare part, especially in the UK. I wasn't sure whether it was an original H&K part, but I did some research in the time that I was waiting and looked at the photos. In the photos, you kind of make out bits of silver, and I knew the original one was made out of aluminium. So I thought, well, unless that silver was paint, I don't know why there'd be silver paint in it, but otherwise it must be metal. The other thing that I noticed is that it had a marking on it, which hopefully you can see. I'll try and focus it. Just there. And again, I know that is, I don't know if that's actually the right way or not. I know that that is a genuine part there. So on closer inspection, once I actually received it, and I received it today, unboxed it with interpretation, and sure enough, it is a metal or aluminium one. It also has got sort of signs of sort of browning around the pinholes, which is sort of typical of that of rust, but you don't get rust on aluminium. However, the pins are steel that go through this. It doesn't look like it's ever been painted. It all looks very, very original. This mark has actually been over-stamped, but again, it's very hard to see. You know, I had to take a photograph and then zoom in. And then I did some research online and found that this is actually quite a common thing, where it has got over-stamping on it. I need to do some more research to find out exactly what that is, but underneath it, it's got the year stamp of 76, so it's a 1976 part. I'm really, really pleased that I got this and being an original HK part. So one thing that I want to do, and I'm going to do it now, I'll probably get bored after a few weeks and change it back to how it is, but I like the original look of the MP5. And of course, this is from the era, of course. Those of you who know, I'm sure you are aware of, you know, the SAS Iranian embassy siege that happened here in the UK in the early 1980s, which of course put the MP5 on the map. You know, although it was being used in Germany and I'm sure other countries, it wasn't really well known until the SAS siege, which of course was heavily televised the world over. And of course, a lot of police forces and special forces started adopting the MP5 as a result of that Iranian siege. So anyway, so I'm going to swap some parts over. Now, I haven't tried this yet, so hopefully it will fit straight on. I found very, very few videos on YouTube, actually, when it comes to fitting the original handguard. Loads of people, obviously, with the, you know, the aftermarket ones with the vents and the grills and the, you know, the torches and all sorts of stuff on it. But that's a bit too modern for me. I know you can get the Surefire one, you know, and there's original Surefire ones for sale on eBay right now, around about 270 quid. But again, I probably will end up getting one at some point, but from what I've heard, the original Surefire ones aren't as good as the aftermarket ones done by VFC, because the torch in it is modern technology. Their LEDs are a lot brighter. Anyhow, I've got the earlier type trigger pack as well to go on. That actually came with this when I got this gun. So I got this second hand, and I did have that on here for a while, yeah, so I thought, well, let's give it a try, see what it looks like. Now, these pins are harder to get in and out, because one of the things that you get with the VFC MP5, anyone who's got one will know all about it, is the retractable stocks are quite loose and wobbly on the end. So I put a couple of pieces of duct tape just over the very end there to stiffen it up, and it does work. Of course, that makes it harder to get the pins in and out, because of course it's much tighter fit. However, I say it does work. So let's pull off that group there, and then get the other one on. It would have helped if I hadn't put it on the floor. So this is the one, the SEF group, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. Also saw a video online where someone, I think it was, no, I can't remember, but basically they drilled a hole through the front here, a small hole, and put a grub screw on to stop the stop this rising up. So I did that, and sure enough, it's you know, it works. I've not had any issues with this misfeeding or not feeding or anything like that. I did have a problem with it when it came to the accuracy of it. It was shooting way off to the side. Well, I say way off to the side, quite a long way off to the side. I just I took the inner barrel out of the hop housing, and I literally just shimmed it slightly on one side, and then it's fine. So there we go, there's that. Now let's get the handguard off and then hope that this new one fits on. The one thing with the plastic one is that it, of course being plastic, you have got a little bit of give in these side holes here if you need it. With a metal one, of course, you haven't, and what I don't want to do is drilling the thing out. I've got the steel outer barrel on this as well, by the way, and a different hop. So let's try this out. Does it fit? Please fit. Oh, looking positive. Yes, it does. Did the holes line up? You can see that? My hand through the back there. Yeah. Let's try and get the pin in. Moment of truth. I don't mind if it's a little bit tight, but I don't want it to be excessively tight. Yeah, that is tight. Does the hole actually line up? Yeah, it does. Let's just try. There we go. It's in, it is on. So there you have it, folks. Let's get the magazine in, complete the look. Original 1976 H&K handguard. Does not loose, it's very, very tight on there. Aluminium one, not the plastic one, with the early SEF trigger pack. Very retro, really, really cool looking. Absolutely love it. I like that new look a lot. I say the tropical one, which I think it's known as this one. This is an original HK one, and I do like that. But for the originality, the retro look, I think it looks really, really cool. If anybody knows of what the ridiculous SAS maglite is, I don't think it actually is a maglite. I need to do some more research, but it'd be great to find the proper mount to replicate that, and the torch that they had on it. I know they didn't all have them, you know, only a few of the guys actually had that setup, or maybe even just one or two, one that you saw on TV. Others were, you know, different setups or literally nothing at all. Now, interestingly, another thing which I did want to do is get an original sliding stock. Obviously this one is great, it's aluminium here. It's fine, there's nothing wrong with it, it works perfectly fine. I say it was a little bit slack before, but it's not now. So that's another thing though, which I do look out for online. And there's a great website in the UK called D&B Militaria, and they sell deactivated, you know, and parts and things like that. And they have actually got a retractable stock, but it's not for an MP5, it's a different model with a pin at the top here. It's about 260 quid. They don't have an early MP5 one like this, but they have got deactivated MP5s and MP5Ks. You're looking about £1,500, which I think is probably pretty good if you want a, you know, deactivated one. But to be fair, the VFC one I think is such a good replica. It really is amazing. However, there is actually somebody on eBay right now selling an original, or apparently an original H&K extendable stock, exactly the same as this. But they want a lot of money for it. I think it's about £450. So it's based in the UK, and all the paint, it looks like it's all come off it. So again, it's you know, is quoted as patina, which obviously it is, but how much patina is too much patina? Because of course, if I was to get that, then the rest of the gun would look kind of a bit new. So yeah, anyone out there looking for an original H&K, or so-called original extendable stock, then there is one on eBay right now in the UK, but be prepared to spend a lot of money. Anyway, that is it. Nothing else to say, really. That's it. Oh, there's one other thing I will say. On the bolt, one thing I will be probably buying for this is a steel bolt, Crusader bolt. So at the moment it's got the standard one in it. And it was just an annoyance really, because the extractor spring, which is copper on the real one, it's all just painted black. So one thing I did, and the original bolt is, you know, it's polished. So I don't know if you can see in there, but I didn't paint it. I just took some 2000 grit wet and dry, which is basically as soft as loo paper, and spent ages rubbing it all down. And I also painted with a very, very fine paintbrush that fake mock, what you're going to call it, extractor spring, and did it copper colour. So yeah, looks pretty cool. So anyway, that's it. Any questions? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Does it look better with this? Do you prefer the look of the you know, the tropical grip? Do you think I paid too much for it? Don't know. People spend more than that and all sorts of other things when it comes to airsoft. So I say very, very hard to get hold of in the UK. That's it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.